this offense will be crazy if the Cowboys just do this. Utilize Tony Pollard and Ezekiel Elliott. And we're going back to 12 personnel. Look, we talked about that on large numbers. I do get the understanding that a lot of people say, well, let's just bench Ezekiel Elliott and put all of the load on Tony Pollard. He averaged 5.5 yards per rush. He was second in the NFL last year with that average. And on top of that, even with the minimum touches, he put up 716 yards, I believe, and 400 yards, I believe, receiving. Here's the thing. Those are good numbers, by the way. And especially when you look at it and you contextualize the way that Tony Pollard was used. Oh, my goodness. I just feel to me, you utilize both Ezekiel Elliott and Tony Pollard. The secret sauce of the numbers 25 carries. If you can figure out a way to come up with that number, the Cowboys will be better and balanced. I really want the Dallas Cowboys to get back to being balanced. I do believe that Dak Prescott is a brilliant quarterback. I look at it, whereas Dak Prescott anywhere between 22 and 26 attempts of throwing the ball, that's the sweet number for him. Cowboy Nation, this particular team, do not fall into the traps of saying, hey, this guy's better. No. You utilize both players. You do. And what the running game do? It at least give the opportunity for your defense to get some rest. And I believe that this particular defense will be the same what they were last year. A defense that flies out to the ball, that can create some pressure. And on top of that, Michael Parsons, he will be looking at this opportunity and saying, hey, I can now slide into the A gap if you need it, or you can put me along the lines of the C gap and I can blitz off the edge. But all of that works if you run the ball. And Kellen Moore, going into his 4th year ever calling plays, let that sink in. Must figure out a way to use Tony Pollard. Now, the personnel groupings is an amazing opportunity for him to look at this and say, you know what? I'm going to start using 20 personnel, 21, 22s with Tony Pollard. And just like that, I can really look at it and I can see what I like out there on the field. And if it's not favorable to what I want to see, then I can motion Tony inside the slot. Tony Pollard got those type of an ability. And that is what the clip that you guys are watching right now. That's a aspect of him catching the ball on a 5-yard out. You can run Tony on a wheel route. You can do so much with Tony Pollard. So the Cowboys, I hope, all off season, that Kellen Moore dive deep into his playbook. And also, don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to watch other teams' playbook as well and take what you need out of it. See how they align their groupings. And excuse me, Cowboy Nation, this particular front with Tyler Smith, who's going to fight for that role at guard, supposedly, you got bigger boys inside. That 325-pound kid, and when he pulled, he got some speed about himself. You got to look at it like this. Utilize your weapons. Utilize your weapons. Look, in the last playoff game that the Cowboys got beat down by the 49ers, there should be no reasons. There's no justifications to bang the table and say, hey, Tony Pollard, you only get 3 to 4 touches. No. Even as a decoy, he should have been on the field more. Even as a decoy. But you give Tony Pollard the touches, you give him the looks, and you got to put that in the playbooks now. You got to start working that stuff out now. You got to start to look at this thing and say it just like this. On the Dallas Cowboys team, your most explosive weapon is Tony Pollard, right? I don't want to hear, well, Lord, he can't block. Well, I'm not trying to use him to be a doggone blocker. Barry Sanders couldn't block. And I'm not saying that Tony is Barry Sanders, right? But you have to utilize your said weapons. Use Tony Pollard wherever you need him to be at, but not on the bench. If you guys get what I'm saying. So with that being said, Tony is explosive. Tony can't catch out of the backfield, or you can line Tony in the slot. He can run the wheel route. And on top of that, in a pinch, if you need a running back to run in between the splits, yes, Tony can do that. But let's not sleep on Ezekiel Elliott as well. Look, teams still respect Ezekiel Elliott, believe it or not. And when you get him on the roll, they will try to load up the box. Oh, don't you know, Cowboy Nation, the best way for Dak Prescott to throw that ball and sling it all over the field is when they playing that single high look, when they trying to stop the run. One-on-one to the outside, that's when Dak eat. Shoot, he had his woes and struggles when they dropped those DBs in coverage, those quarters defense. And to be fair, so did Pat Mahomes in the playoffs. Oh, yeah, Pat Mahomes, he's an elite thrower of the ball. And so did Aaron Rodgers. Couldn't defeat that quarters defense. Go look at the playoff tape. That's why he threw an 18 QBR, and that's Aaron Rodgers. So the expectations for Dak Prescott can't be higher than what they have for Aaron Rodgers, right? So all of this stuff, you got to run the ball. That's the bottom line. And if you think I'm lying, even if you go back to watch that Kansas City Chiefs game versus the Cincinnati Bengals, no way did Tyreek Hill get shut down by Eli Apple and Cheeto Woozier in that second half. Oh, because they had too many DBs dropping back in coverage. All the Chiefs had to do is run the rock. So should it be for the Cowboys. Utilize both of those running backs, and the world will open up for you as far as those lanes. Cowboy Nation, that's been my time. I really thank you all for yours. Post me your thoughts. Post me your concerns of this. Like I said, Tony Pollard and Ezekiel Elliott is a better situation versus just Ezekiel Elliott or just Tony Pollard. Easy for life.